Hi guys, I'm Erica Renee Davis for Black Hollywood Live, and in his very young career, he's already played so many diverse characters from Degrassi High to Selma, and now to the new Jesse Owens movie, Race. We can confirm that Stephan James is not only a true talent, but he is a classic talent. Stephan, how are you doing today?
I'm well, how are you?
Doing well. So let's just jump right into it. You morphed into Jesse Owens for Race.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you got started running and preparing to do that role.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You know, you're dealing with such a massive story, and a person who's really just, he's really a hero the world over. So for me, you know, I knew how important it was to make sure that I was training and that I was, you know, conditioned enough to sustain, you know, the 3 months of shooting that I had to be doing, and then to be believable as, you know, a guy who was once the fastest man on the planet. So, you know, definitely was a rigorous training schedule for me.
So you say rigorous training schedule. What did you do to train? What made it so rigorous?
Well, I mean, I was working on another film at the time, Selma actually. So when I found out that, you know, that I was going to be playing Jesse Owens, I said, you know, I got to start training for this. So every off day I had on Selma, I would just take it and go to Georgia Tech down in Atlanta and train with the track and field coaches there. So for me, it started with conditioning, and then I was doing weight training. You know, I had to adjust my diet a little bit to cut down my body fat.
How much body fat did you lose in the time that you were training?
I lost, I think, like 10%. It was pretty good. You know, I cut down, I toned down. You have to get the runner's body, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is a guy who's a world class athlete. So, you know, I knew I couldn't take any shortcuts where that was concerned. But yeah, for me, it was just as much mental as it was physical, because I had to pay attention to little things that Jesse did as a runner. You know, how did he start his race? What was his stride looking like? What was his face looking like when he ran? So, you know, those are the little things I had to pay attention to make sure I was being accurate.
So other than training with a track coach, who, by the way, did say that you are a pretty good runner, and if you took it seriously, you might be able to be a professional or competitive runner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read that about you. Read that about you. You didn't even know. So other than training for your athletic, for your body, what did you do to master Jesse's mannerisms, his accent, his gestures? Did you train with an acting coach?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously it's 1936, so there's only so many YouTube clips I could find of interviews of Jesse and stuff like that. But I definitely took what I could find, and you know, having his daughters there, who are, you know, just the most amazing women, and you know, to have them there to lean on and to ask about the type of man their father was, the type of father he was, you know, husband he was. Those are the things that were most important to me to capture, to bring a level of humanity to this great hero, you know, that we know so well.
So you speak about Jesse Owens being a great hero. You're Canadian. How do you build an emotional connection to African American heroes like Senator John Lewis, like Jesse Owens, since you are Canadian and you might not have grown up with these stories told to you as frequently as a Black American? How do you build that emotional connection to him?
Yeah, and for me, it's just as an artist, it's just about learning, you know, taking it from the ground up and doing my research about what it was like in those times. And, you know, there are certain things that I can maybe draw from my own life, but, you know, at the end of the day, I lived a very different life than John Lewis. I lived a very different life than Jesse Owens, but, you know, I wasn't scared of that, being Canadian or whatever the case may be. You know, I saw Daniel Day-Lewis play Lincoln. I saw David Oyelowo play Dr. King. So to me, I wasn't that far removed. It was just something I had to learn about and dive into.
Now, in the movie and in history, Jesse Owens infamously or famously decides to run in the 1936 Olympics, despite the fact that Hitler's regime is basically slaughtering Jews. As a Black man in today's society, would you have made that same choice to go race?
I mean, honestly, if it boiled down to it, you know, now thinking about it, it's easier said than done, but I think that I would have went, you know, purely just based on the love I know Jesse had for running. You know, I know that, anything that I love, I never hesitated to chase that, especially after this story. No pun intended, by the way. But to me, I look at him and I look at what he was able to accomplish, and we probably wouldn't be sitting here if he didn't go and do what he did and send the message that he did.
Working with director Stephen Hopkins, tell me about that.
Incredible. I think he's a crazy mad genius, but I had so much fun working with him. He really helped paint a picture of what that time was like, not only in Ohio in 1935, but in Berlin in 1936. He really helped paint a picture for me of what that was like, and then give me the freedom that I needed to be able to play Jesse. He really allowed me to just to take control and to tell the story in the way I sort of wanted to tell it.
You and your coach Larry Snyder, who's played by Jason Sudeikis on film, have a seamless chemistry. Are you guys friends in real life?
Yeah. No, Jason's the homie.
Jason's the homie.
The homie.
Okay.
We got really close really quickly. We connected on the front where we're both big sports guys, both big basketball guys. We understood the relationship, the dynamic sort of between the coach and the athlete. So we were able to connect on that level right away. And it doesn't hurt that he's such a funny dude. It's such a great time to be around. So we connected great. And as you see Jesse's relationship get better with Coach Larry, my relationship got better with Jason.
Tell me a little bit about your love interest in the movie, played by your old Degrassi co-star. Did you guys do Degrassi together?
No, never together.
Never. Okay. So tell me about playing her love interest, the chemistry between the two of you guys, because you make a cute couple on screen and I'm sure off.
Oh.
I'm sure off screen too.
Well, thank you. No, Shanice is great. Shanice Pantin is an actress who I respect so much, and I think she really brought so much to Ruth, because again, there's so little that we know about her, and how much she meant to Jesse. She was such an important character, and that casting was so important because of just how much she meant to Jesse. And the fact that Jesse really looked to her for a lot of things, for guidance. They were best friends, before they were anything, at a very young age. So for me, it was just great to work with her and to build a connection with her, and I'm glad you believed it.
I did. Very believable. Wait until you guys see the movie. Okay, so I want to go back to you when you mentioned talking to the Owens daughters, Jesse Owens' daughters. What kind of guidance did they give to you, and did you feel pressure to live up to their father's legacy?
Of course. Yeah.
Were you scared?
I was a little bit nervous, a little intimidated, but I definitely rose to the challenge. I was more excited than any of those things, to have the opportunity to portray such a legend, a guy who, we're sitting here talking about him 80 years later. His story, what he represented, really resonated for generations. And, to have the opportunity to be that vessel, to relay that sort of information and to show people who he was as a person, going back to your question, his daughters really just helped me understand him as a person, who he was as a human being. And, there was so much I learned about him as a humanitarian that I had no clue about. He was really the type of guy who really just treated people as he wanted to be treated, and he didn't see color. He didn't care where you were from or what you looked like. To him, it was just all that mattered to him was running, and so he was able to form so many different relationships just based off of that love. So, what intrigued me even more than the athlete he was the human being he was.
Okay, so quick question, because this guy is a huge sports fan. You play soccer or
a little bit.
Football?
Yeah, back in the day.
Hockey?
A little bit of hockey.
He has an Instagram picture with a Husky mask, so
So
that's why I'm asking about hockey.
I actually played a hockey, like a hockey player in an indie film I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so favorite athlete, aside from Jesse Owens, favorite athlete of all time?
Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this farewell tour?
It's sad. If we talk about it too long, I may shed tears on this thing. So I don't want to talk about it too long.
Okay.
Nah, he's someone who I've idolized my whole life. You know, just his mentality, the way he goes into the game, the way he plays every game like it's his last game. So, you know, it's sad to see somebody like that go, somebody who's had such a stamp on the game. So, yeah, I'd probably say Kobe Bryant.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to race. Want to know when you auditioned for the role, and then you got the phone call that you booked the role.
Yeah.
What next?
I mean, I was pinching myself. I'm still pinching myself. You know, I walk around, I look at the posters,
Yeah.
and I see the trailer and seeing the film, and it's like, I still can't believe that that this story landed in my lap, and that I was able to be the one to portray him. You know, so for me, it was just like I realized the immense responsibility right away, and I just tried to focus on the work and making sure that I was going to be believable playing this guy.
Other than wanting to live up to his legacy, what are some other big obstacles that you faced while filming?
You know, the training. Obviously, there were some sore days. You know, some days where I needed some ice baths afterwards. You know, so that really took a toll on me. But anytime you're doing a period, you almost have to lose yourself a little bit, and try and really dive into whatever world it is that you're exploring. So it's a big challenge for me, and it was a big challenge for me to be more selfless in that way, and you know, it was less about me and more about him and telling the story.
Most fun component of filming race?
Just working with this incredible cast. Honestly, you know, you got guys in there that I grew up watching, Jeremy Irons and Bill Hurt. So to be around those guys and to see what their whole process is like, that's invaluable to me, and that's something that I'm going to take with me, you know, forever. And you know, it's sort of, you know, something that I'm really, really proud about.
Okay. Now we're gonna do some fun stuff right now.
Okay, I'm excited. Let's do it.
Okay, first of all, who is your favorite band, singer, or rapper right now?
Band, singer, or rapper?
Favorite music artist?
I think Jesse Bieber. And you know, shout out my Canadians.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Justin Bieber song right now?
Oh man, I'm really loving everything on the New Purpose album, honestly. But Sorry makes me dance. It really makes me dance.
Okay. Dream role. What's your dream role?
Dream role, superhero. I want to play like Spider-Man or Superman or something like that. That'd be cool.
Okay. He's definitely the man for the job. Okay. The top 3 songs on your iPod right now.
Probably Justin Bieber. Like Future in there too.
Okay.
I like Future.
Every time he says Justin Bieber, I roll my eyes. Just want you to know. Okay. Word association game. I'm going to say one word. He has to say the very first thing that comes to mind. Try to keep it at one word. If you got to say a phrase, I'll take that. Our rules here are not strict at Black Hollywood Live. We're pretty lax. Canada.
Toronto.
Oscars.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Drake.
Views from the Six.
Selma.
Dr. King.
Poetry.
Tupac.
Love.
Love. Let me see. There's a few things that come to mind with this one. I don't know. Who's like a
I think he's blushing. Okay. Super Bowl.
Broncos.
Okay. Hitler.
Germany.
Rob Ford.
Why this one? Why?
Rob Ford.
Mayor.
Okay. Social media.
Instagram.
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Strip.
Going back to love.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love, okay. Kevin Love, I guess. I mean, he's not on your team. Or I'm assuming you're a Raptors fan.
Yeah, but I love Kevin Love. Makes no sense.
Well, so tell us the biggest takeaway for you from Race.
Well, there was just so much I got to learn about Jesse. You know, I really feel, you know, as if he inspired me, and the biggest thing for me was trying to take the inspiration that I got from it and try to do that for other people. So, you know, for me, it's just I want people to be inspired to go to the film and see why it doesn't matter what you look like or where you come from. Anyone can accomplish great things. You know, there's no excuse for any one of us to do great things if Jesse Owens did it.
All right, guys. So that has been a very fantastic interview. I feel like we got to know you better. Like, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate this.
And he blushed about love.
I did. You know, a few thoughts ran through my head, but Kevin Love.
Okay. We settled on Kevin Love.
Yeah.
We can agree on that. And fantastic movie. I got a chance to see it. I cannot wait for you guys out there to get an opportunity to share in this special movie that this young, talented, amazing actor is starring in. So much more from you to come. I'm excited to see how your career grows. And thank you for talking to Black Hollywood Live.
Thank you. I appreciate it.